So hello and welcome back to episode 3 of Roll for Puppet. Thank you so much to everyone that has been watching and enjoying the first 2 episodes. Episode 2 reached 1,000 views in only a few days and I was absolutely blown away by that. So thank you, and let's get started with a brand new episode. First of all, this episode has been pre-ordered, so someone was feeling very brave and ready to trust the dice. So thank you so much to order 1960, and let's roll for your head shape. So we have a 7 for the spirit head shape, which is brand new for season 4. We have never shown this before. And then moving on to the personality roll, we're back to the OG dice because we're mixing up each week. And your puppet, your spirit head shape puppet, is going to be from outer space, and that is so exciting. We have not rolled from outer space in a really long time, and I'm also really excited to show you one of the brand new head shapes that we've developed for season 4. This is definitely one of my favorites that we've ever made. It's very soft and regal, and it would work perfectly with a mythical sort of foresty creature. I feel like it would go well for a character from the lore, but also as a character from outer space, this head shape just screams like alien queen. Please tell me I'm not crazy. This head shape does scream alien queen. I feel like it would be great for a lot of things. It's a very versatile head shape. I mean, any head shape can be anything. It could be a human, it could be an animal, but this puppet is going to be perfect with the outer space theme. So the dice know what they're doing, and let's get started. So of course we're going to cut out the reticulated foam for the first time with the spirit head shape, gluing it all together with the contact adhesive for our forbidden honey sandwich, pressing the very complicated shape together. I would say this is the head shape that took the longest to perfect. Sometimes they just come together perfectly, and this one definitely took a lot of trial and error. I think we made many prototypes before we got one that we were happy with. We have our S for sexy on the mouth plate, of course, and as you can see, this mouth plate is very different than our standard puppets, which have more of a rounded shape. This is triangular, it's very angular, it's very narrow towards the front to kind of get that pointed shape on the front of the face, if that makes sense. So we're going to glue it together with the forbidden ice cream sandwiches, the black fleece for the inside of the mouth plate, and that's all going to get glued together into the puppet's head, and we're going to be ready. Once we add the little cheeks, we're going to be ready for our foam reveal. I am so excited to get to show you all that we've been working on. Roll for Puppet Season 4 definitely has taken months and months of work. So to be at the stage where we're getting to unveil all of the new fun things, hopefully you're as excited as we are. Here is the finished foam base. Now, doesn't that just look like an alien? Absolutely perfect for today's theme and really fun. Now, of course, for our colours, we have to roll for the amount of colours first, and we have 4, so maximum chaos, of course, and those 4 colours are... We have a 2 for black, 2 7s for double blue, and 12 for rainbow. So we need to re-roll one of those 7s because the dice asked for 4 different colours, and this time we have 11 for dealer's choice. So we have black, blue, rainbow, and dealer's choice. That is a very chaotic colour scheme, but I feel like anything goes with the outer space vibes. As many colours as possible will look perfect on this puppet. So for our dealer's choice, we have chosen red. So we have this black and red wispy, fluffy fur that we're going to use for the body, and the red stands out so brightly against the black that it almost looks neon, and I feel like this would be perfect for an alien. And then we have this bright, bold blue fleece. It's kind of like a turquoisey blue. And then we're going to be bringing in the rainbow and the multicolored fabrics later on. So we're going to get started with cutting out all of these materials. So for the black and red fur, I'm going to have that on the body and the arms of the puppet, and then the blue is going to be on the face, and of course the little fleecy hands. And once that's all cut out, we're going to sew it together on the sewing machine. And if you are someone that prefers a longer, more detailed, kind of descriptive, relaxing version of these crafty videos, then never fear, every single Roll for Puppet episode here on YouTube comes with a second extended cut without my annoying voiceover, and all of the crispy, crunchy ASMR foam cutting sewing sounds left in. And it's the kind of video that you can just throw on in the background or use as you craft. You can relax to, and I know that a lot of people have been really enjoying that, so that will be linked in the description. If you wanted a longer, more detailed video that you could maybe make puppets alongside, or if you just wanted to see a little bit more of the detail that goes into making these puppets, then that video would be perfect for you. So now that all of the fur has been sewn up on the body and the arms, we're going to move on to creating the hands. So we're going to cut both sides out of the foam, and then we're going to add in the wire armatures so that the hands can be posable, and also the arm rod pockets so that it can be controlled with the arm rod. They all get glued together, and then we're going to cut out the fleece version of the hands and also sew that up on the sewing machine. In the meantime, I'm going to trim the fleece on the puppet's face just to make sure that it fits nice and tightly, and then I'm going to hand sew all of those seams together. And this is probably one of the jobs whilst making these puppets that takes the absolute longest, especially when the puppet's head is made of fleece, because you've got to be very careful and very precise, and you want to make sure that the seam is nice and flat and even. We use this F3 fleece, which is amazing at hiding the seams anyway, but still it's better safe than sorry, so just be as careful as possible. And just make sure that all of the cuts that you make before you start sewing are as straight as possible, because that will mean that the seam will be nice and tidy. Once the hands are sewn up on the sewing machine, we're going to sew them to the fluffy, furry arms, doll joint them onto the puppet's body. We have a little happy dance and our colourful reveal. It is absolutely giving like Invader Zim at the moment, which is perfect for, of course, this head shape. Now moving on to our eyes, we have a 4 for painted eyes. Now painted eyes can mean a lot of different things. We can use our standard cabochon eyes or dot eyes and spray them, but I have a perfect pair in mind as soon as we realised what this character was going to be. So this is a set of eyes which we painted, we added veins and detailing, and then we cast them. Now unfortunately the resin bubbled a little bit too much for what we were planning at the time, so we saved these eyes for something very, very special. And the bubbles, along with the glue along the side, it looks like galaxies and stars, and we knew that these eyes needed to be on a puppet somewhere. So these work absolutely perfectly as a pair of painted eyes for this alien creature. And if you look closely, you can see these little threads of red all throughout the eyes, which are the veins. And it just helps this puppet look even more wise and mysterious, but it's time to roll for our features. So we have 6, 7, 9, and 15 for eyelashes, eyebrows, clothing, and jewellery. Very interesting picks for an alien puppet, but I'm sure the dice know what they're doing. So first of all, for the eyelashes, we wanted to do something very, very different. So we have these feathery, long tufts of fur that we're going to cut and then glue together and then glue behind the eyes of the puppet. So they are really long, really alien looking, really fluffy and expressive, and just the kind of eyelashes that an alien queen would have. Moving on to eyebrows. I did not include the about an hour struggle that we had to try and figure out how to put eyebrows on this puppet, but we decided an alien would more likely have sort of ridges or textured eyebrows sort of built into their skin, I suppose, rather than just sort of painted eyebrows put on top. We wanted this to look very alien, and so we had a lot of fun with very abnormal features today. So we're just going to go along and add some shading into those eyebrow ridges. It created a really fun expression, especially with the addition of the really fluffy long eyelashes as well. We have a bright red fleecy puppet tongue, because every puppet needs a tongue. We're going to glue that into the mouth, and it's just a really lovely bright pop of colour against the turquoise fleece. And then we decided that the eyebrow ridges needed more definition and more shading, so we added in some sort of darker colours, blew out the lines a little bit just so that it looked nice and blended, but we wanted those really, really defined in the puppet's head. So we took that extra step to just add more shading and more definition. Now, for the clothing. An alien queen, of course, needs a robe, a cloak. And we have this beautiful, shiny, kind of multicolored green and gold fabric. Really luxurious, really shiny and beautiful. And so we're just going to cut that to the right shape. Again, this took us a lot longer than this video is showing because I'm having to try and cut it for the voiceover, but custom making tiny little clothes is time consuming. So once we'd ironed it and measured everything out and cut it, we're going to hem it, tidy everything up, and sew up the seams on the sewing machine. And we knew that we wanted this puppet to have a stiff, upright collar rather than just a hood for this cape. We wanted them to look like royalty, really regal and wise. And then we're going to add some of this fluffy, soft multicolour pastel fur as our little rainbow touch, and we're going to add that as a trim to the top of the collar. This is definitely one of the more unique pieces of clothing that we've ever made for a puppet, but a character from outer space and a spirit head shape for the first time definitely deserved the extra effort. So we're just measuring out the right sizes for the cape, and then we're going to attach both of those together, and then as a little extra addition detailed piece of jewellery, we're going to have this really fun octopus charm to hold the cape together as a little fastener. And it's kind of giving Cthulhu, it's kind of giving cosmic horror, and perfect as our little outer space theme. So we're just going to sew that in place, secure it to the sides of the cape, and then as another piece of jewellery, we definitely wanted this kind of drop headpiece as part of their royal attire. So again, we're just sewing that in place, and then we're going to go and add a few more little jewels to the headpiece. And now we're going to be ready for our finished puppet reveal. Here they are in all of their outer space glory. We actually just loved this puppet so much. It was really fun not only to bring a brand new head shape to life for the first time, but also every single selection that the dice made were just perfect. The colour scheme, the features, all of the extra details. They are such a perfect little alien queen. I love them so much. I really hope you enjoyed getting to watch the entire build process. Thank you so much for watching. Name suggestions and detailed backstories in the comments below, as always. Thank you so much, especially to all of our wonderful members over on our community on Patreon. We couldn't keep making this content without you, and it would mean so much if you would head over there, support the show, and we'll see you very soon for another episode.